With a final pair of playoff berths up for grabs for a multitude of competitors striving to maintain any championship hopes to the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season, Ryan Blaney captured the final spotlight and spoiled the hopes for any playoff spoilers by storming his way to a dramatic victory in the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona International Speedway on Saturday, August 23rd. Blaney's Daytona victory marked a dramatic conclusion to the 2025 regular season stretch as the Cup Series enters its 10-week postseason stretch to determine who will win the overall championship. Good morning, race fans and motorsports enthusiasts around the world. My name is Andrew Kim, and this is Retro Motor Vibes, where I highlight anniversary stories and break down motorsports events near and far. For today's audio episode, here's a full breakdown of the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale event at Daytona International Speedway, a 2.5-mile superspeedway venue in Daytona Beach, Florida. Without further ado, let's break the event down. The event's starting lineup was determined through a metric formula that consists of owner points position along with race results and fastest lap rank from the previous race, this being last Saturday's event at Richmond Raceway. This was due to the event's on-track qualifying session that was scheduled to occur on Friday, August 22nd, being canceled due to inclement weather. Through the metric formula, Alex Bowman, a 3-time pole winner of Daytona's season opening event, the Daytona 500, was awarded the pole position. Ryan Blaney, a Coke Zero Sugar 400 race winner from 2021, started alongside Bowman on the front row. Prior to the event, William Byron, the 2025 Cup Series regular season champion and another former Coke Zero Sugar 400 winner, was forced to start at the rear of the field due to an unapproved adjustment that was made to the splitter of the driver's entry. The adjustment occurred as Byron's team was making a second attempt to have the entry pass the pre-race inspection procedure that occurred on Friday. As a result of the unapproved adjustment, Rudy Fugle, Byron's crew chief, was suspended for the remainder of the weekend. In addition, Byron's team was stripped of their pit selection for the Daytona event, and the driver was forced to serve a quote-unquote stop-and-go penalty, which involved driving to pit road at pit road speed, stopping in a respective pit stall, and proceeding back on the track after taking a green flag with the field. Driver Joey Gase was the only other competitor who started at the rear of the field with Byron due to unapproved adjustments that were made to the former's entry, though he did not serve any stop-and-go penalty to commence his event. Notably, BJ McLeod's team had its car chief, Lee Leslie, barred from participating in the event due to the entry failing pre-race inspection twice. And despite also having their pit selection revoked, McLeod was not sent to the rear of the field, nor did he serve any stop-and-go penalty compared to Byron. The first stage period spanned the event's first 35 laps and featured 6 lead changes for 5 different leaders. During this stage period, there were 3 occurrences of cautions for 15 laps. The event's first caution occurred on lap 12 when veteran driver Casey Mears, who was racing in the mid-30s region, spun in turn 4 after he blew a left rear tire. Another 6 laps later on lap 18, Todd Gilliland and Tyler Reddick, both of whom were racing at the front of the field, made contact and spun on the front stretch. During the incident, Reddick hit the inside wall head-on. The incident initially appeared to have jeopardized Reddick's playoff hopes despite the driver commencing the Daytona event 89 points above the playoff cut line. Nevertheless, he was able to continue and he proceeded to finish in 21st place in the final scoreboard. Hours before he finished the event, Reddick received early good fortune by solidifying his berth to the playoffs based on points. Reddick's early playoff solidification occurred when Bowman, who was scored 69 points above the playoff cut line and was striving to overtake Reddick on points, ended up in 36th place in the scoreboard. Bowman's result was due to the driver being involved in a 12-car pileup on the front stretch on lap 28 that started when Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch collided into one another and made a tight 3-wide squeeze move that got Wallace and Busch sideways. The carnage not only placed the event in a red flag period that spanned for 8.5 minutes, but it eliminated Bowman from further contention. Amid the incidents, Ryan Blaney, who led the event's first lap over Bowman, led the most laps during the first stage period at 26. In the end, Kyle Larson outdueled Blaney to capture the first stage victory, which marked his ninth stage win of the 2025 season. The second stage period spanned for 55 laps, which started on lap 41 before concluding on lap 95. Compared to the first stage period, this latest stage period featured 10 extra lead changes at 16 and a total of 9 different leaders. In addition, there was only a single caution that flew for 4 laps. The caution was for Carson Hocevar stopping on the backstretch, but out of the racing groove on lap 82 after he lost his motor a lap prior and was unable to limp his entry back to his pit stall. Throughout this stage, a series of on-track actions occurred as the competitors racing at the front fanned out to multiple lanes and competed in close formation within the draft. In addition, various pit strategies occurred as some competitors attempted to stretch their fuel tanks to the stage's scheduled distance, while others pitted to guarantee themselves of finishing the stage. Meanwhile, Cody Ware, who was ranked in 36th place in the driver's standings but a legitimate shot of making the playoffs by winning the event, led the most laps at 21. As Ware dropped out of contention, Ross Chastain motored past Joey Logano to capture the second stage victory, which also marked his second stage victory of the 2025 season. The event's third and final stage period occurred for 60 laps, laps 101 to 160, during which 18 lead changes occurred and a total of 12 competitors led at least a lap. In addition, there were 2 occurrences of cautions for a total of 10 laps. The first caution occurred on lap 108 when Denny Hamlin lost pace and had issues steering his damaged entry to pit lane for repairs after he blew a right front tire entering the front stretch. This marked Hamlin's second incident of the event, as if he was involved in a lap 28 multi-car wreck and had dropped out of the lead lap category. Hamlin would race his way back on the lead lap category in the closing stretches and finish 25th overall. Then, on lap 147, a late caution flew when Joey Logano got loose while battling both Eric Jones and Chris Buescher for the lead entering the front stretch. After slipping in front of Jones and making contact against Buescher's right front fender, Logano spun towards the front stretch's infield. And despite making no contact with any wall, he got his entry stuck on the front stretch's grass and lost a lap to the leaders. And after leading the most laps throughout this stage at 22, Logano ended up in 27th. During the event's final restart that commenced with 8 laps remaining, 4 competitors, Eric Jones, Justin Haley, Ryan Preece, and Cole Custer led and were among many who had opportunities to leapfrog their way from their respective points positions to the playoff field with a simple task in mind: winning the event. Meanwhile, Blaney, who was scored in 13th place with 2 laps remaining, began his charge to the front by drafting Custer to the lead to commence the final lap. Then, as Custer attempted to execute a crossover move on Haley amid the latter's blocked attempt on the backstretch, the seas parted ways for Blaney as he challenged for the lead with drafting help from Daniel Suarez. With the momentum on his side through the final pair of turns, Blaney then muscled ahead and fended off the field that had expanded to 4 lanes deep to capture the victory by 0.031 seconds over Suarez. Overall, the top 5 finishers that included Haley, Custer, and Jones followed suit by less than 1/10 of a second, 0.095 seconds overall at the finish line. With the victory, Blaney notched his 15th career win in the NASCAR Cup Series division, his second overall in the Coke Zero Sugar 400, and his second of the 2025 season, with his previous victory occurring at Nashville Superspeedway in early June. Blaney's victory was the 4th of the year for Team Penske and the 5th for the Ford nameplate, though Blaney recorded Ford's 4th 400-mile victory at Daytona over the previous 5 seasons. Blaney also became the first repeat winner of Saturday's 400-mile event at Daytona since Dale Earnhardt Jr. achieved the previous feat in July 2015. Here are the full race results of the 2025 Coke Zero Sugar 400. Here are the results. The drivers with one asterisk indicate they recorded stage points in at least one of the event's first two stages, while the drivers with two indicate that they recorded points in both stages. Notably, AJ Allmendinger, who ended up in 26th place due to late power issues, was awarded the fastest lap bonus, which occurred on lap 17 as the lap time was registered in 45.751 seconds. In addition, Bowman, who as previously mentioned ended up in 36th place, was awarded the 16th and final berth to the playoffs based on Blaney repeating as a race winner in 2025 and preventing any occurrences of first-time winners to this season. Next, here is the official 2025 Cup Series playoff field and how the 16 competitors who have made the playoffs have been seeded from 1st to 16th when the playoffs commence next weekend at Darlington Raceway. Notably, Denny Hamlin, who makes the playoffs for a 19th time, will pursue his elusive first championship from 3rd place, while Joey Logano commences his title defense from 12th place. Rookie Shane Van Gisbergen and Josh Berry will commence their first ever Cup Series playoff run in 6th and 13th respectively, while Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, and Austin Dillon return to the playoffs after being absent from the 2024 season, with Dillon also being absent from the 2023 season. In addition, Ryan Blaney will commence his second title pursuit from 4th place, while Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman, both of whom made the 2025 playoffs based on points, have been reseeded to 14th and 16th in the standings. On the flip side of the spectrum, here are the full-time competitors who did not make the 2025 playoffs, starting with Chris Buescher atop the list as he missed the postseason for a second consecutive year. Notably, Daniel Suarez, Justin Haley, Cole Custer, and Eric Jones, all of whom finished 2nd through 5th at Daytona, respectively, fell short as the quartet needed to win to make the playoffs. Suarez also joined Ty Gibbs and Brad Keselowski as competitors who did not return to the playoff field in 2025 compared to 2024. Lastly, Kyle Busch, a two-time Cup Series champion, also did not make the playoffs for a second consecutive year. Overall, the 2025 Coke Zero Sugar 400 featured 44 lead changes, which marks the third time over the previous 5 seasons where this event featured 40-plus lead changes. Mired within the lead changes, 19 different competitors led at least a lap, which occurred in this event for the first time since 2022. The event also featured 8 cautions for 39 laps, and from the field of 40 competitors who started the event, 25 finished on the lead lap, while 32 finished the event overall. Blaney's Cup Series victory and the official determination of the 2025 playoff field capped off an eventful doubleheader weekend of racing at Daytona, where the action commenced on Friday for the Xfinity Series Wawa 250 as Parker Kligerman earned a thrilling victory in overtime. Kligerman's victory occurred in a relief role as he relieved rookie Connor Zillage during the event's first caution period that started on lap 13. This was due to Zillage continuing to recover from breaking his collarbone following his harrowing fall while celebrating a victory at Watkins Glen International 2 races prior. Because Zillage started the event, he, and not Kligerman, was credited with the official victory, which was Zillage's 7th overall of the 2025 season. As a result, Friday's Xfinity event marked the first time since a relief competitor won across NASCAR's top 3 National Touring Series since Denny Hamlin won the Xfinity event at the Milwaukee Mile after he relieved Eric Almirola in June 2007. Next weekend, the Craftsman Truck, Xfinity, and Cup Series divisions all return for a stacked triple-header weekend of racing for Labor Day weekend to cap off the month of August. But not all of the series will campaign at the exact same venue. The Truck Series will commence next weekend's activities with its first of 7 playoff races at Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina for the Sober or Slammer 200, which will occur on Saturday, August 30th at noon Eastern Standard Time on FS1, NASCAR Racing Network, and Sirius XM Radio. Meanwhile, The Xfinity Series will travel to the Pacific Northwest for the fourth and final Pacific Office Automation 147 at Portland International Raceway in Portland, Oregon, an event that will also occur on Saturday but air at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CW Network, MRN Radio, and SiriusXM. Lastly, the Cup Series caps off the Labor Day weekend festivities by commencing its first of 10 playoffs with the 76th running of the Cookout Southern 500 at Darlington. The event will occur next Sunday, August 31st, with a starting broadcast time of 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on USA Network, MRN, SiriusXM, and HBO Max. That's all for this episode. Have a great rest of your day and see you on the next episode of Retro Motor Vibes.